Skip, it smells a little bit like rat poison in here. You get rat poison? You know the squirrels leak that. Remember? You remember my birthday like 3 years ago? We had them like 14 dead squirrels right there on the back patio, and it's all because the rat poison. Rat poison. Oh, you just tooting? All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Hey everybody, my name is Clark Pickens. This is Ask Clark. I'm the head nut here at friendsofsquirrels.org, and this is a show where I answer all your questions, all your squirrel questions. A lot of times I get Beyonce questions and some questions about gardening, and I had a question once about how to fly a plane when the engine goes out. I didn't know the answer to that one. But today we do have a squirrel question, honest to God squirrel question, so let me get that for you. It comes from Norm Maycomer, and Norm wants to know, hey Clark, what do I do when my neighbor hates squirrels? Well, Norm, it depends, really. Is it because you're feeding them and they're coming around and they're annoying your neighbor? Or is it perhaps your neighbor has a BB gun and maybe they're just a little psychotic and they're shooting at the squirrels? Or I don't know. What it is, what I did and what I found and in the past is we've had like a peace summit almost. My neighbor next door, I've had two neighbors next door. First neighbor, if y'all recall, Andy, the cat, orange cat, great cat, killed one of my squirrels, but for the most part, very friendly, came over, loved to snuggle and get all with me, and I like to pet a cat, so that was fun. But Andy died, and actually the Egyptians, they moved, so and the next people that moved in, also cat lovers. People coming and going, boxes of free kittens down at the Walmarts, those type of folks. So what would happen is they would let their cats just out, and they would come over into the refuge. They'd be out in the refuge. They were causing some sort of havoc. So what I did is Karen and I, we made us a real nice potato chip pie, and we brought it over, and we said, hello, I'm Clark, this is Karen, we're your neighbors next door, and we brought you this fine potato chip pie. They took one look at that potato chip pie, and they turned their nose up, and they're like, what is that? And I said, oh, yeah, it's interesting, but you should try it. It's very delicious. If those of you that watch the show a long time know that's my favorite dessert. It's potato chips and whipped cream. Very salty, very creamy, very delicious. Anyone who doesn't like it is crazy in the head, if you ask me. So they tried it, they begrudgingly, and they kind of liked it, and they invited us in, and we met them. It's the Carlsons, Tina and Lisa, and they have cats, and they love cats. They don't necessarily hate squirrels, but they're of the mind that the cat is a top animal, and it should be able to roam freely wherever it wants to go, and I'm fine with that as long as it doesn't end up in the refuge. So we had a little come to Clark. I let them know one of the things, my mission in life is to be the friend of the squirrel, be a saved squirrel, have a resource, a refuge, and I love squirrel. I feed them nuts. So I explained that to her, and Lisa, I think, was the head dog over there, head cat over there. Tina was just sort of sitting there eating potato chip pie. Lisa and I, she's a stealing woman, and I swear to God, she looked right into my soul and took a piece. But I think where we connected, well, I told her my story. I told her about my past and having been a raiser of squirrels for meat, and then having changed my life around, and now I save the squirrels. And she, I think she took that to heart a little bit, and we decided to come up with a strategy to keep the cats out. So we're extending the fence on the property line. Well, there already was a fence, but it's just a small wooden fence. We're extending that. We're adding about 8 more feet. I had to go down and get this. We had to go down to City Hall and get a extension permit thing to keep the cats out. So they don't tend to come around the fence, and actually the fence runs back quite a ways. So we're putting up I'm putting up another 8 feet of just mesh fence. They can't climb that very well. And squirrels don't really want to go over there anyway, and I don't want squirrels going in there. So we did that. And I did agree, and she agreed with me, that I could set some live traps. I don't want to do this. I don't want to catch a squirrel in there. You know, a squirrel and a cat in the cage at the same time. That shouldn't happen, but... So, yeah, every day now I got to go out and, me and Skippy got to go out and check for tabbies in the traps. We keep them along the edge, put some tuna fish in there, and luckily squirrels hate tuna fish. Me too, I hate tuna fish too. And, but the cats love it. So I'm a little torn because I don't know if it's causing more cats to come over because they know there's food over there. And really the live trap doesn't hurt them. Don't tell Lisa this, but I have a little zapper. It's basically, I made it myself. It's a 9-volt battery, and it'd sort of be like a taser, but I give them a little when they get in there, so they don't like it. But I don't know if it hurts them or not, but I really don't care too much. So I give them and then I'll let them carry them back over, and I throw them in the Lisa's yard. We've been catching 2 or 3 cats a day, but the good news is we haven't been losing squirrels because, one, they have other food to eat, and 2, they pretty much get caught right away before they go off. And because I don't even think they don't eating the squirrels, right? They're just chasing them for fun. But I think if the food is more important to them, so they go down and they catch that tuna fish in a can. So Norm, I don't know if that answers your question, other than you need to go and have a dialogue with your Lisa next door, because I know if I would have done this without her consent, she'd have been more irate than I'm sure there's something like a pig that you set on fire and then send it through a newspaper factory. She'd be madder than a pig in a newspaper factory on fire. Skip, I gotta come up with something better than that. Anyway, but she wasn't. She's understanding, and she actually comes over now, and I've given her a couple tours of the refuge, and Tina, by God, she comes over. She's gotten the mama's recipe for a potato chip pie, and she's actually been bringing some potato chip pie over. So I appreciate it. Except she makes it with Pringles, which is weird. Because the secret to the potato chip pie is just a potato chip, like a Lay's potato chip flavor, just salt potato. She's making it with those sour cream and onion Pringles. So it's kind of fancy potato chip pie, maybe. Because I don't think it really goes with the whipped cream, but anyway, so we're kind of at a truce. We kind of had a bit of a peace summit, and all of our animals are still not getting along, but she and I are getting along. I'll give you an update on it, Norm, if it gets worse or better. But what I didn't want to have to do is, start picking off cats with a BB gun, because you might have gotten to that. Or else just sit out there all night. Just have Skip sit out there all night. Skip and Brian out there with a big net trying to catch cats. That'd be funny to watch, though, I'll tell you that. Anyway, hey, and also we got a picture. Mama found this picture of me when I was, how old was I? Like 12 years old. Back at home with one of my first squirrels. That's Boomer the squirrel on my back there. No comment on the sweater, because it's a fancy sweater. Also, that's before I was wearing glasses. But yeah, me and Boomer was a lucky squirrel, but he wasn't for food. That was one of the first pets we had. I don't know why Papa didn't eat Boomer. Never did. But Boomer lived a ripe old age of like 7 or 8. So thanks for the photo, Mama. If you guys have a photo, you can also send them in to Clark at friendsofsquirrels.org. I like to see pictures of your backyard squirrels. And you can also ask me a question. You can also follow me on the Twitter at FOSquirrels, or on the Instagram at Clark Pickens. And we used to have a face page, but Mark Zuckerberg deleted it, so we don't got that no more. But also on the YouTube. And if you're on the YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe, however you do that. But thanks for watching, and I'm the head nut here. My name is Clark Pickens. So thanks for your question. Yeah, Pringles. Did you try it? I know. You might as well put barbecue chips on it, as far as I'm concerned. It's disgusting.